Hello, and welcome to our channel. I'm Karen.
And I'm Nick. We retired early in 2022, and we've been slow traveling ever since.
We try to stay in places for a month or longer, and we want to share our experience with you. We invite you to slow travel with us. In today's video, we want to share with you 12 experiences that we felt were unique during our time in Mexico City. We were there for 3.5 months, February through May, and we have not seen these experiences featured in other travel videos. So one of the first things that we definitely recommend that we did is to go to the zoo. The zoo is free to enter, but what's really unique here is the amphibian exhibit. It is home to the axolotl. The axolotl is a critically endangered aquatic salamander species. There are only about 1,000 left in the wild, and they are very specific to this area of Mexico City due to the lake. They cannot be found anywhere else. So this is very, one of the things that you probably should do that you won't be able to do anywhere else. What's really cool about the axolotl is that they are capable of a phenomenon called neoteny, which is the ability to undergo metamorphosis but never outgrow their juvenile stage. So they have gills, they breathe through them, and they can regenerate limbs, heart, and even brain. Very, very cool animal that you should definitely check out in this place.
It's really neat, and at the zoo in the amphibian exhibit for these salamanders, they have a really great display. You can see them in aquariums, and also on the second floor of this amphibium, they're showcasing the conservation efforts that they're going through at the zoo since they are so critically endangered. It's so interesting because you can see the axolotls in different stages of their life in different aquariums, and they also grow the food for the axolotls. What the axolotls eat, what their diet is grown at the zoo as well. So it's a really awesome exhibit and conservation effort to see while you're at the zoo.
And fun fact, the axolotl is featured in the 50 peso bill of the Mexican currency. Yes, very cool.
The second item on our list of unique experiences in Mexico City is a baseball game. A lot of times people think of soccer when you think of Mexico City, and soccer is huge in Mexico City. But while we were there, we actually went to a baseball game. We went to see los Diablos Rojos, the Mexico City baseball team. The stadium where they play is very, very beautiful. It's unique, it's new, actually completed in 2019. And the stadium seats about 20,000 people. The baseball games take place in the springtime, so we were lucky enough to be there in the springtime. Also at this stadium, they'll host Major League Baseball MLB US teams. When we were there, the Colorado Rockies and the Houston Astros were actually playing. We didn't go see them, we saw Diablos Rojos. The baseball stadium's beautiful, the design, the architecture.
Yes, the architecture is amazing, very impressive, and it's supposed to mimic ancient pyramids of Mexico, and you can see it when you're walking up to it.
Yeah, there's like 6 pyramids at the base. They're Mesoamerican style pyramids at the base of the stadium, and it's just a really neat design and a tribute to the area and to the history of Mexico.
Yes, and the tickets were not expensive at all. There were about $12 per person, and that's for front row.
Right, we sat front row. We had front row seats right just behind first base.
Yes, very fun game. One of the things that we felt was a highlight to this game, first of all, the home team won.
Yes.
And after the game, they allowed people to go into the field.
Correct.
So they opened up the field. Families were just hanging around, throwing the ball around, taking pictures. They even had a fireworks display.
It was really neat to see. You could go touch home plate. Just an awesome experience, and easily accessible by public transit.
Yes, and public transit is 5 pesos, which is approximately 25 cents.
27 cents each way per person. Yes. So you can't beat the price for the tickets or the transit to get there.
A great experience. Not many people do it, and we recommend it if you're there during the baseball season to check out a game.
Definitely. Yes.
The third item on our list is riding the cable bus.
Yes.
It is the longest urban cable car in the world. There are 2 lines, Línea 1, Line 1, and Line 2. Line 1 goes from
Indios Verdes.
Indios Verdes.
Yes.
Line 1 is 9.2 kilometers and about 5.7 miles. Okay, line 2 is the one that is the longest in the world. That one is 10.55 kilometers, which is about 6.56 miles.
6.5 miles, yeah.
This is such a cool thing. It is only 7 pesos, which is about 30-something cents.
37 cents.
US, exactly, to ride. Very easy to get to with it's all public transport. You get to these stops. And when you ride this cable car, it takes you up above. You can see the beautiful houses, painted roofs, murals on the roofs.
Yeah. Rooftop gardens people have. You can see all the homes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And from Linea Dos, there's even, you can't miss it, there's going to be a plane.
Yeah, you'll see a random airplane, and I'm a plane geek, so it's a 737 airplane. It's a retired plane that was placed in a park, and it was an effort by a mayor at the time to rejuvenate the area, make a green space and a gathering area, and they actually turned the airplane into a library,
yes,
which is really cool. But one thing we do want to mention about this cable bus is just please be respectful of the time. These 2 lines were developed. Mexico City is very crowded, very congested city. These cable bus lines were developed to ease congestion and to help residents get in and out of town to go to work.
Yes.
So if you're going to ride the cable bus, just maybe do it between 10 and 3. Don't go during crowded times.
Yeah, people are trying to get to and from work.
Yeah.
So I don't be there when they're doing this. They're just
like,
we're riding it for fun, and they are needing to get someplace.
Correct. If at 8 a.m., 4 p.m., don't be riding it for fun. You know, it's going to be really crowded, and it's not like they're not going to let you on, but just be respectful.
Another thing to note is that riding the cable bus is definitely the highlight here. There's not a whole lot you can do once you get up top. You can roam around, but truly the cable car is the experience here.
Correct. It's just a neat experience to ride it, and it's a record-holding cable car to ride. It's
Definitely.
neat. Yeah. The 4th unique experience we want to share with you was running a 5K. This is something actually we try to do this in every city that we visit. If we're visiting for a long enough period of time, and if there's a run going on, we try to do a 5K. Now, there were so many 5K runs in Mexico City while we were there. I guess springtime must be a popular time for runs. So we participated in only one. It was very easy to get the tickets, the admission. We visited a store called Invictus. Invictus is a shoe store, clothing, athletic store, sporting goods store. Yeah. And if you visit an Invictus store, you can sign up for a 5K. It was only about $12 per person. Now that included our t-shirt. We got a t-shirt for running. Yep. And in our run, there are roughly 6,000 people that participated in our run. And it was a mixture of 5K and 10K in our run.
And it was early in the morning, so you get that nice weather. Yeah. We were running through the main street of Reforma. So from near the Angel of Independence to Chapultepec Park. So beautiful run on this main street that it's kind of like a street that you need to go to and experience because it's really nice to walk through. Yes. So we got to run with all the locals. There's all kinds of hype and music and
they're cheering you on.
Yeah, people cheering you on.
People cheer you on. It was a lot of fun.
It was a fun experience. Yeah. Even if you don't run, just to be in the crowd with all the locals and even some people were walking. Yeah. So you want to walk it, but it's just we do
a run walk. We're not trying to break any records. We want to enjoy the city. We want to enjoy the energy and just do something different.
Exactly. So this is one thing that we really enjoyed being part of.
Yes.
Number 5 on our list is Biblioteca Vasconcelos. This is a free public library, considered a mega library because it is so big. It is multiple stories, 7 stories?
7 stories, yeah.
And it houses about
600,000
books, and it can expand to about 2 million. It is huge.
It's really impressive. When you go in, you can see steel structures where all the books are housed. And there's actually even a gigantic sculpture in the center of the library. It's a sculpture of a baleen whale. It's a really, really, really impressive library, and again, it is absolutely free. Of course, there's tons of books, but there are little nooks and nice little areas where you can study, where you can take the book. And we actually saw students while we were there. People in there were studying.
Not just areas where you can sit with a book, but areas where you can plug in your computer and work. So this is a working library that is just impressive to see. It is great that this is available in the city.
Absolutely, and it's actually right by a main metro stop, the Buena Vista metro stop.
So easy to get to with public transportation.
Yes.
And free.
Yeah. Number 6 on our list is Palacio de Bellas Artes. Everyone knows Palacio de Bellas Artes.
And it's a must-see when you're in this city. It's featured everywhere.
Absolutely. However, once you've gone in and you've seen the murals, you've seen the paintings, you've seen the beautiful building inside and out, one thing that is unique is that, and you have to remember, is the Performing Arts Center. They actually have shows at Bellas Artes, frequent shows at Bellas Artes. There's a schedule, and there's a schedule online that you can see, and there's a schedule at the Performing Arts Center as well.
Right. We decided to attend one of these shows. We chose a symphony orchestra show, and it was awesome. It was a great experience. It was easy to get tickets. You buy them right there at the box office, and they were only about $6 per person.
Yeah.
An incredible deal to watch these beautiful artists, talented, just playing amazing music. And inside the facility where the performances are held, it is also very, very pretty.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, the ceiling is very, very pretty. It's a beautiful structure. And a very unique experience. A lot of people visit Bellas Artes and they don't go to a show. And for the price and the experience, you should go to a show.
Go to a show.
Another really neat thing about Bellas Artes is on the outside of the building, just an honorable mention for the Bellas Artes. If you're a photographer, I like it. I'm into it. You can go to the corner of the building and you can actually line up some of the little corners of the structure of Bellas Artes with the Latin American tower, Torre Latinoamericano. You can line up the corners of the structures, and it makes for a really neat photo that not many people know about.
And speaking of the time of year that we were there, also a lot of flowers in bloom. You can get a really nice shot of the of Palacio de Bellas Artes surrounded by beautiful flowers. Yes. So that can also be a very neat picture.
Yes.
Number 7 on our list is pulque. Pulque is a fermented drink that is made from the sap of the agave plant. So it is related to your
tequila,
mezcal and tequila, okay? But it is different. It has a milky look and a viscous consistency, texture. And it is fermented, so there is some alcohol in this drink. But the history of this drink goes back to Mesoamerican times before 200 AD. So it is an old drink that they make. We went to a pulque bar, which was called Pulque Espiritu Santo. We will link it down below. And that's what they do here. They have other drinks too, but they make pulque here.
We decided to get 2 different ones. They were served in 1-liter mugs, and we got a non-flavored pulque, and we also got a flavored pulque. And for her, she loved it. She was on board right away. And for me, it was an acquired taste. I'm still acquiring. It was different. And I enjoyed the flavored one more, but nonetheless, super cool. It's something that you gotta try while you're there.
Supposedly is full of vitamins and minerals and even probiotics, so it probably is good for you in some ways.
And as far as the alcohol content, it's about the same as beer. I've read anywhere from 2% to 14%. A lot of places say that it's more like a 4 to 7% alcohol. So not really high, about like beer, but it was served in a 1-liter mug. Yes. So keep that in mind.
And for both liter mugs that we had, it was about $5 US total.
For both, yeah.
Not bad.
No, not bad for a really unique thing for Mexico City.
Definitely.
Yeah. Number 8 on our list is called Palacio de Correos. It's a post office located in central downtown Mexico City near Bellas Artes. It's a post office that it's been in operation since 1907, still in operation. It was damaged in 1985 in the big earthquake, but it was restored to the original state in the 1990s, and it's been in operation since 1907.
It is free to go in.
Yeah.
And it is impressive the moment you walk in.
Yeah.
Beautiful architecture. And if you continue to walk around the building, they have some different historical displays regarding their post office history.
Yeah. And there's some stamps on display and some old postal, either postal delivery or post office boxes or stamp vending machines, just little historical items.
Beautiful building to walk around. You won't be disappointed here, and free to go in. And it is a working post office, so if you need to send some mail, try it.
Yeah.
Number 9 on our list is the pyramids of Teotihuacan. But not just the pyramids, you can get to those. It's one of those must-dos while you're in Mexico City. We took a bus from the North Bus Terminal of Mexico City to this area. It is a beautiful place to walk around and get to see all these ancient pyramids from the Mesoamerican period.
Yeah. The Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon are located there.
Yes. Now, what was unique in this area is that we found a restaurant that is inside a cave. The restaurant is called La Gruta. It is only a 5-minute walk from Gate 5 in the Teotihuacan property. So not a bad walk, easy to get to, and this is a very impressive restaurant.
Very.
When do you get to dine in a cave?
Yeah.
Okay. The cuisine is a Mesoamerican cuisine from local ingredients.
They use local seasonal ingredients.
Right. And delicious food, great service.
Yeah. And this was a little bit of a splurge for us. This meal cost us $75, but very, very well worth it when you think about a meal, the cost of a meal out in the U.S.
Exactly.
And the location, how special the location we were, and the fact that it was in a cave. It just made for a very unique experience.
Yes, and it was very memorable for us because not only was the location gorgeous, but the food was also delicious. So it was just like a great time.
And after the fact, when we were researching this to do this video, we learned that some pretty famous people have dined in this restaurant. Diego Rivera, Frida Kahlo, and actually Queen Elizabeth II. So there have been some very, very famous people that have dined here as well, which we didn't know. It makes it even more neat that we've gone.
Yeah. If you are visiting Mexico City and you're going to make a trip out to Teotihuacan, set some time so that you can go have lunch at this place or have some sort of meal at this place.
Definitely.
It's really cool, very, very cool.
It's a must-do.
I think so.
Yeah. Item number 10 on our list is called Jardin de Arte in Sullivan Park, or Art Garden in Sullivan Park. It's a artist display that started actually in the 1950s, and hundreds of artists come out and bring out their work. It's a very large variety of work. Where this is located is in Colonia San Rafael, and you can actually buy artwork that's there from local artists.
Yeah, you can talk to them, they'll tell you about their work. They're very nice and really beautiful work. All kinds of different styles and
all kinds of different price ranges.
Anywhere
from $20 to over $2,500 we've read. Yes. And there are people that are around the circumference of the park that are making frames as well. So you can have custom made frames for your artwork while you're there.
Yes. Very neat place. Every week, and it's free. You can go and really walk around and see some beautiful artwork and speak to the artists.
And there's between 350 to 400 artists there every week.
Yes.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's a really neat event every Sunday.
Yes. Number 11 on our list is Museo de Arte Popular, so Museum of Popular Art. This is a museum that is free on Sundays, and even though it's free, it is not crowded.
No.
There's not a lot of people going here, and it is a beautiful museum. It is located in an old firehouse building.
It is an old Art Deco style building that was a firehouse. It's about 4 stories high, if I recall.
And you get to walk around each floor. Each floor has a different exhibit.
Different themes. There's piñatas hanging from the ceiling. There's some folk art in the museum as well, but there's sculptures and pottery, textile.
Very beautiful displays of all kinds of different folk art.
From different periods of time.
And different artists. Really colorful, beautiful to walk around, and it's free.
Number 12 on our list is more of a time of the year related thing, but it's in regards to the beautiful jacaranda trees that bloom in the springtime in Mexico City. It's just a gorgeous time of the year, and they're such beautiful, delicate flowers. And no matter if you're in Chapultepec Park or if you're near Reforma and you see these trees blooming, they're absolutely gorgeous. And we did a little bit of digging and found out some history about this. And it turns out in 1930, the president of Mexico, he saw the cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C., and he wanted cherry blossoms. But he spoke to the gardener at the time. The Chapultepec Castle was the presidential palace. And the gardener at the castle said, no, that those trees, it doesn't get cold enough in Mexico City for those trees to bloom, the cherry blossoms to bloom. So he recommended the jacaranda tree. And this is what we have. It
is beautiful to walk around the city. They are all over the place, and the purple flower, you can't miss it. It is just gorgeous to watch. They started blooming when we got there in February, and by late April it was
pretty much done by late April.
It was done. Yeah. So beautiful time of year to go and experience the spring there and see these beautiful flowers in bloom. They really just add a pop of color to this already colorful city. Yeah. So great to see it if you can get in there springtime.
In the springtime, yeah.
So those are the 12 unique experiences we had in Mexico, but we want to mention one more that we thought was really neat. And that is visiting the Bolsa de Valores in Mexico. It is their own stock exchange.
It's the Mexico City Stock Exchange.
It is free to enter. I believe it's free every day. And it walks you can read all the information regarding their currency and how it became about, the different presidents and
during the different phases of history in Mexico, what was going on in Mexico, and how their stock exchange came about.
Exactly.
And something really, really neat at the end, and we didn't even realize that we could do this. We were able to walk out to where you could see the floor of the stock exchange. Yes. And it's a beautiful structure, and there's a glass dome right above the stock exchange floor. But a really unique, neat experience. And when we went, it wasn't busy at all. There weren't many people. And just something unique and neat while you're there. I'm not sure that you can do this in New York, but I know that you can do it in Mexico City.
Very neat to see, get some history regarding their currency, and watch their trading floor.
And we gotta mention one more thing. It's very unique, and we realize this is a one-off, but we were lucky enough to be in Mexico City during the solar eclipse. And even though it wasn't a total solar eclipse, there was very, very high coverage of eclipse while we were there. And we decided to visit the Zocalo while we were there during the eclipse. And it was awesome. Mexico City knows how to do it. Like, they had the whole Zocalo area closed off, and there were vendors on either side that had food and different crafts, and they had a stage set up in the center of the Zocalo. Yes. Where they had
members from the native tribes doing a different displays and dances and all kinds of ritual performances because of this eclipse.
Yeah, and you got to remember where this is in the time period in the Mesoamericans. You imagine back in time, all of a sudden, in the middle of the day, and the sun was covered and it went out. So this is a very, very special, and it was an awesome time to be in Mexico City. Yeah. Again, I know
we realize this is something that may not be replicated anytime soon, but we really did enjoy this very unique experience, being there, participating, watching the eclipse with all of this surrounding us.
So that's it. You made it. That's 12 plus 2. Really unique experiences we felt we had in Mexico City that are not often discussed in other videos that we've seen in the past.
We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And slow travel with us. Bye.